Hey, greetings, fellow slingers. It's your trusted handler, Brian. I know I've been on a rampage for several weeks talking about the homebrew Delta Green AP under a pale moon and how it's always coming, always on the horizon. Well, you know what? Here it is. But as always, we got a little bit of business to conduct before the episode begins, and I'm not alone in giving you the business. Nope, I got my hard slingers with me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them hit the ground running, and they're each going to give a brief synopsis of what their character's doing for the agency, Delta Green. So let's start with some respect and let our elder go first. Tone Dog.
I'm playing Agent Polly Adesso, a sailor assigned to the Naval Intelligence Unit, specifically assigned to the Transnational Threat Department, otherwise known as the TNT. Polly joined the Navy when he was 18 years old to see the world. He tested very high on his ASVAB test and was placed into the Naval Intelligence School, where he excelled, graduating the top 5% of his class. Now 26-year-old, he's been promoted through the ranks over the last 8 years to a petty officer first class. He has noticed a pattern of threats that seem to indicate a supernatural threat to the country. Smart enough to keep it to himself, he's become more and more obsessed with unraveling the threat and finding its source. The TNT provides the Office of Naval Intelligence with capabilities based upon achievements of global maritime intelligence integration. TNT also partners with analysis from the Naval Criminal Investigation Service, Multiple Threat Analysis Center, and the U.S. Coast Guard Intelligence Coordination Center. They partner with them to provide in-depth analysis on counter-illicit weapons proliferation, narcotics smuggling, and maritime crime and privacy. Polly is the father of a 4-year-old by the name of Joaquin. As assigned in Washington, D.C., he met a Norwegian woman by the name of Sana and took up with her, although he refuses to marry her, which has caused a rift between himself and his mother and brother, who both say that they should make an honest woman out of her and bring her into the family, get married, and have a legitimate entire family organization. He has decided he didn't really want to do that, and so his mom and his brother have both become estranged to him.
Well, that's excellent. I'm sorry, other brothers, other hard slingers. I think we're out of time, though.
Thank goodness.
Sammy, why don't you
6 hours later.
Yeah, tell us a little about Ichimaru.
I am Ichimaru Kimura, the last member of my clan. I was Yakuza. Now I am with Delta Green. The things I saw with Yakuza were mere mortal issues. Death, honor, sacrifice, revenge, redemption. But what we deal with now goes beyond the realms of mortal men. I weary of this life, for every time we solve one of the problems Delta Green has, more arise. So much more now that it has driven the blade between myself and my family. I have not seen them in months. My son Kage, my wife, my teacher, they are all lost to me at the moment, and without them, I am lost. And I wonder if it's even a point to continue down this path, fighting against these outside forces, or is it better to spend the last remaining moments on this earth with my family, maybe teaching my son Kage how to fight against this all-consuming doom. How y'all doing? On a side note, let's
Well, on a side note, is it appropriate that we establish new bonds with fellow agents? Like, for instance, each and I have been on no less than 5 missions together.
each of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys will have established. You guys do have an established bond with one another at this point.
Okay.
And
So
as
we can
you
put that
start
in there.
as you start suffering bonds with the other people, you take up bonds with those who you've been in the trenches with.
Right.
Brother Ratke, let's hear what you got to say about Romeo Ramirez.
So that would be Dr. Ramirez to you because Romeo Ramirez, not his real name. is a former collegiate professor. He's well educated in the line of duty in academia. He got sucked into some things. I've gone through all this on another stream, but after losing out on the academic path, he's kind of a trust fund kid. He's got a great charisma about him, got a great way with people. Seeing the dark weirdness that's out there, the strange monsters and stuff that creeps in the shadow, I think it excited him. And he's already got a bit of a weird streak himself, so he was drawn to it. And the intelligence inside of him wants to tell that story and get it out there. And what he does for the agency is he takes the truth, as weird as it is, and he'll either twist it weirder or he'll make it less weird. And then he puts that out there because he knows there's no stopping this. It's going to come out of every crack and cranny. And to him, it's his job just to like control the way it comes out and to try to protect what he can while also protecting himself and try to make money while he's doing it.
Well, let's every one of those reasons for why your agents are currently with us right now is just incredible. Incredible enough to give out some gold doubloons. So let's give 3 of them out, one for each window.
One for each? Excellent.
You know where it goes to.
One for each.
That about does it for our Hard Slingers intros. Don't forget to write in the show during our Delta Green APs if I or any of the Hard Slingers roll a crit. Not just a hard 20, but anytime we roll a successful crit with our D10s. Be the first to write in the show at rollthehard20podcast@gmail.com, and I'll send you out a D20, a genuine fake gold doubloon, and a sticker with our newest logo on it, because it looks fucking awesome. In fact, it looks just like what our guys have right behind them right now. Don't forget, check us out on our YouTube channel at rollthehard20. And without any further delay, let's warm up our dice and top off our glass as Roll the Hard 20 podcast presents our Delta Green scenario, episode 1, Under a Pale Moon.
Oh!
Ooh.
Got here and the picture.
Where's Waldo?
Where's Waldo?
So you all caffeinated out there, Dave?
Yeah, man. Got the Death Wish coffee in me, so this should be fun.
Good.
What are you guys sipping on?
Doing a Modelo.
Oh,
I have Costco coffee.
There we go. Jameson IPA edition.
So how's everyone been doing? Is it just each? Not even agent each, just each.
Ichi. That's what everyone calls me anyways.
Agent each, just like Captain Ron. Because it's not even his last name.
Yeah.
I always thought that was hilarious. So how are my hard slingers? We ready to do this, man?
We are ready. The hard slingers of yore and the new slinger of
that is
Here.
right.
so much yore, maybe just yo.
ready to hear some old stories about our friend Ryder and find out where that nickname came from. So I've got my theories, Brian.
Well, they're all good theories, I'm sure, but only one of them is correct.
That's really going to be the mystery we're solving tonight on this Delta Green.
Oh,
Just
man.
ask Weaver.
Oh, there goes Tone.
What? Hey.
Yeah, and he spelled your last name wrong, dude. Isn't it Odesso? Odessa? Agent Odessa?
I think it's Odessa.
Not Odesso.
That's Odessa. Odessa.
Fucking
What's the background?
dyslexic.
What's the...
You gonna come back
lexicon.
and play with this, Tone, or
Yeah, I'm here. Can you guys still hear me?
I can hear you. I just can't see you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you misspelled your
sorry.
last name.
There we go. I misspelled my own name. All right, hold on a sec. Let me do that. Let me go rename here.
Was it Polly or Paulo, by the way?
Pauly. The actual name was Paulo. He goes by Pauly. So
Is that Italian, Greek?
SSO. Yeah, there was only one.
Yeah, only one.
Oh boy.
The internet gods are not happy tonight.
You keep fighting us, Tone.
Yeah, there we go. Should be okay now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Are we ready to play?
We're ready.
All right, let's do this. Greetings, fellow slingers. Welcome back to Roll the Hard 20 podcast. It is I, your trusted handler, Brian, and with me, my hard slingers of yore and new. Yeah, we are playing our Delta Green scenario under a pale moon. So, let me lead us in. It's December 23rd, 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Oakland, California, the Marsh Landing Wharf. We see a houseboat moored in one of the many occupied slips, its paint chipped and flaking. The windows in its portholes are foggy with buildup. The deck is cluttered with rope, paint, and other renovation tools that haven't seen a hand in weeks. It's been several months since Romeo Ramirez was in New Orleans, and lately, every day has been starting out the same. Get up, grab a bottle off the cabin's shelf, take a long pull, and toss the empty vodka bottle into the trash bin. The record player in his brain begins to play New Orleans' greatest hits. Song 1, My Handler Lied to Me. Song 2, The Green Box Ain't No Toy Box. Song 3, Doc Rondell's favorite toy has arrived. And Song 5, Ain't Nothing Like Getting Gaslit by My Handler. You've moored your houseboat in Oakland to be closer to your daughter in an effort to repair your relationship and to finish writing your latest book. Both endeavors remain incomplete. Your daughter is open-minded, but you've been hesitant, and for the same reasons why your book isn't finished, which in and of itself is a bewilderment to you. It started off basically writing itself, and then as you got close to the final chapters that comprised of the instances that occurred just after Schaefer's hotel room, your inspiration turned off like a switch, leaving your memories intangible and just out of reach. And as much as you don't want to admit it, you know your best decision to get those feelings back would be to return to that room in New Orleans. Agent Ramirez, can you explain why going back to New Orleans is out of the question?
I think that Ramirez knows that after an operation like this, he's going to get sucked back into that. There's way too much heat in New Orleans, and they know who he is. I mean, he's been seen around, the multiple murder sites and everything, and it's just not a good mood. It's like they say, they always return to the scene of the crime, right? And he's addicted enough to the unnatural where he would be wanting to go. Like you said, he wants to get that back, but it's that internal struggle where he knows it's a bad decision, and he just can't bring himself to get there yet.
Do you think that instance in New Orleans is keeping you from completely healing this relationship with your daughter?
I think he has a lot going on, and obviously that's one of the main things, but I imagine that Romeo's ex has taken up with another guy at this point, and not even in a bad way. It's almost one of those things where you'd be happy if this wasn't your kid. I think of like the Ant-Man scenario with Scott Lang. He comes back and the daughter's with the mom and that guy with the really cool gravelly voice, and they got a really good thing going on, and Scott kind of becomes part of the family. But for Romeo, it's more like, does she need me anymore? Even though she's open to it, it's like she'd almost be better off with this guy with the cool gravelly voice being her dad, and not this whack job reporter who shows up when he wants to, all hours of the night kind of stuff. And that's the struggle that he's feeling right now. Who does he want to be?
You stand there on your boat, looking at your reflection in the mirror, and although you gave the harbor master explicit instructions not to be bothered, you hear his voice drifting down from the deck above. Mr. Ramirez, I know you were very clear that you didn't want any intrusions while you wrote your book, but you have a phone call in the yacht house. He wouldn't give his name, but he has a rough-sounding voice, and he was almost persistent that he speak with you. He said he knew you were there. Here, wherever we is.
I imagine the camera like pulls out of the houseboat and you see this guy looking down at like a porthole or whatever you call it. And you just hear inside, he's like, "How did he find me?" And the thing opens and you see Ramirez in all of his wife beater glory with like 3-day old spittle and like hasn't shaved. He's like pulling his glasses on. Let's just get this over with. Okay.
And it's cold as fuck too. It's the ass into December. Even though it's in the afternoon, you still have a heavy fog on the water line. The wind's blowing brisk, and this old geezer that basically runs this moored area, he's always got a perpetual state of fear on his face, even though he doesn't have anything to fear except for life itself. He just kind of smiles with his few teeth. He says, "Okay, just, you know where the phone is, Mr. Ramirez. I won't bother you. Just go ahead. Use do it." And you know where the yacht house is. It's down at the end of the dock where all the slips are at.
Seems like the exact kind of character that Ramirez would buddy up with. So he just kind of like pats him on the shoulder and thanks him and pulls his little bathrobe over him. Walks down to the yacht house.
And you see the phone is just sitting next to the cradle. Still landline at this time.
So just that deep breath of, this is either going to be really good or something really bad. So he picks up the phone. Hello?
Did you know a certain dictionary defines a year as a period of 365 disappointments?
I don't know. I had the Far Side one, and it doesn't say that in there. It's got some interesting pictures of cows, though.
I have some interesting pictures of cows with their innards missing. Jesus. Sorry, Ramirez. I know it's been a while. Look, I hate to do it to you, but I need to pull you in on another assignment.
And he knew it was coming, but he's like, "All right, what do we need? Where am I going?"
Well, as it stands, you're going to be going somewhere that you're going to require some real good cold weather gear. Your flight leaves in 2 hours out of the Oakland International Airport.
All right, I'll be there. More than this bathrobe. I don't know if you're looking at me right now.
It'll be in the Wasatch Mountains in Utah. You're going to want more than a bathrobe. Please bring some socks.
Maybe next time you send me a birthday card, huh? Let's stay in touch.
Pick up your ticket at the gate. They're expecting you.
All right, I love you too.
The line
Anything
goes
interesting?
dead.
No. It's like, he just screams into the phone, and you see his coffee kind of go all over.
You see the old man watching you, and you're like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, okay, bye." You don't want to.
I love you
guy
too,
that got
Dad.
hung up on.
Love you, Grandpa.
Too,
So Ramirez, after you get off the phone call with Heisenberg, you see that Harold, the dock master, he's still kind of waiting outside the door, occasionally poking his head in, making sure whether or not you're off the phone or not. Just, he doesn't want to be rude. He doesn't want to interrupt what's going on. But right now you're just holding dead air on a receiver.
So Ramirez is kind of collects himself, and he walks outside and he looks at Harold and he does that thing where he's like, "Hey," and you could tell he can't remember the guy's name.
It's
It
Harold.
catches.
It
And he's
is
like,
Harold,
no, Harold. Hey, hey, can you walk with me real quick? Important phone call. Thank you so much.
I hate to be a stiffler, but the 10th is coming up, and they want to make sure that all the slip fees are in. I don't want to be a pest, Mr. Ramirez. I know you never are too far late, but if
No. I told you about my publisher, man, and it's coming.
Yeah,
He's always
yeah.
the check in the mail stuff, and
Yeah,
I'm good for it.
Oh yeah, I that's what I tell them all the time. Every time they're checking the slips.
Hey, when it rains, it pours. I'll throw down like 3-4 months of your way, right?
That's what I tell them.
Hey,
all
maybe
the
I give you
time.
4 months, and maybe 3 goes on the slip. You know how I do.
I buy all your books, Mr. Ramirez. I'm a big fan. Every time I tell my sister, all the time, yeah, I got the big writer. He's on the docks. I love him. She I think she's starting to buy some of your books. She tells me she sees them on occasionally. She's going to look for them.
Well, he's
Anyways.
like, as he's walking, he's like, "Well, Hey, you can come by sometime. We'll grill up some steaks. We'll talk about it. It'll be awesome, huh?
Oh, that'd be great. Maybe,
And
maybe this weekend. I think I'm free. My calendar says I'm free.
yeah. This weekend, I'll get back with you. Absolutely.
Okay.
Uh, he's like, I gotta jump on a flight, but hey, just a second, just a second. They
Sure.
walked up to the Ramirez's houseboat, and it's right there on the pier, and you actually maybe you see like the name, and it says like the Me Too, and it's like scratched out, and it says the Aqua Fortune. So he opens up the pier. He goes in. It's still really ramshackle and under disrepair. But he goes over to to a table where there's some papers, and he starts leafing through them. And you see it's like some sort of insurance papers, and he puts them in a manila folder. And he comes out. He's like, hey, Harold, could you please just I gotta jump on this plane. Could you just get this down to FedEx for me, please? You know I'm good for it. You know I'm good for
Sure,
it.
Miss. Is the postage already paid, Mr. Ramirez?
And he like reaches into his pocket and he pulls out some money and gives him whatever it is, whatever it is.
I'll cover the difference. Okay, yeah, you're good for it. You're good for
You're
it.
the best. And he gives him like a really awkwardly strange hug that like I feel like the guy kind of holds it a little bit too long. And he's like, "All right," and like I really gotta go. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'll batten down your boat for you and make sure that we keep the squirrels off it too. Okay.
I appreciate it, Henry. Harold. Yeah.
You did. Okay. Take care, Mr. Ramirez. Bye. Bye. Don't forget. It's past the. It's almost the 15th.
I got it.
Okay.
Cool.
We shift scenes. Tularosa, New Mexico, 12:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. In a motel in a small town of Tularosa, New Mexico, just east of the White Sands Missile Range, two men are waiting. It seems like they've been waiting for months, and that's no exaggeration. In an effort to maintain his strength and discipline, the man of Asian ancestry is doing two-finger push-ups on the floor, pushing from his mind the thoughts of what might be caked into this matted carpet. Agent Ichimaru, shut up. Agent Ichimaru Kimura, what goes through your head as you rhythmically push your body away from the ground?
I tend to do them in 2 counts. Ichi, ni, ichi. Sorry, had to get that out of the way. Wondering what's going on with my family, with my wife, my children, my sister, my sensei. It's been ages since I've seen them, since our last mission.
It's been months.
Don't-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a very long time. I know they are safe, but I haven't seen that with my own eyes, so I am concerned, but I must trust my people to make sure that they are safe because I can't do it right now. I'm on the run,
You are. But you're not alone on the run.
unfortunately.
Yeah. So as you continue to exercise, you see that you're not alone in this hotel room. The other man, of olive complexion and dark rings under his eyes, sits in a chair at a well-worn wooden desk with deep scratches on its surface. He stares intently at the screen of a laptop while scrolling the web, searching for Agent Poliodessa. What are you searching for?
Polyadesso is very worried about his family, even though he knows they're being taken care of. He misses them terribly, especially since the bond between them had grown strained over the time because Santa still doesn't know exactly what's going on and why. So he's searching on the internet to try to find the nanny cam for the daycare center that he knows his 4-year-old son Joaquim is at, just so he could get a glimpse into the feed and to see his son. He's also trying to figure out how he could hack his wife's iPhone, or saying his iPhone, not his wife, but his girlfriend of long time. He's trying to figure out how he can hack her iPhone, see if he can get any pictures out of her and his son. But he's not sure how to do that without leaving large electronic footprints that may compromise his position with each, as in hiding.
And it's been months since you guys have been home and been on the run, obviously on the advice of your handler Heisenberg. The only man you've known from the agents who sent you out. You've been told to disappear after your last mission, which was your last mission. I mean, sure, there have been close calls. That instance in Portland when the sanitary crew had caught up to you at the refinery where you were looking for evidence about March Technologies. The entity you believe Anna, the handler who tried to have you retired, derived from. But this whole time while you've been on the run, having left your families behind, at least they become collateral damage, you've managed to stay 2 steps ahead of those who would want you dead. And all that time, you've kept your flip phone charged, and it has yet to ring until now. You see it on the nightstand, vibrating.
Polly goes over and answers it. Adesso.
Do you know who this is?
Yes.
Say my name.
Heisenberg.
You goddamn right.
He just wanted to say you goddamn right.
Oh, I love that part. I'm okay with that.
Put me on speaker.
Each. It's Heisenberg. Puts it on speaker.
I would assume.
I want you boys to know I've done everything on my end to get you back in the clear. And don't worry about your loved ones. They've been relocated as I said I would. That should give you a peace of mind and a sense of freedom to maneuver, which is what I need from you both right now. I'm still playing the narrative, but I'm gonna need your help with something that only agents with your background can take care of. There's a situation under development that I've been asked to send agents to curtail, and it's become a high priority. Basically, I'm being squeezed. And I've already requisitioned an agent to run with this, but to be honest, this op may require more than one. Hell, it's going to require more than 2. The specifics are still in the air, as they are still coming to light as we speak. What I can tell you is that it involves some hikers who have gone missing in the Wasatch Mountains. I want to let you boys know that I've been informed that if you undertake this op, you'll be in the clear of March Technologies. They won't be haunting your ass anymore. There is a stipulation, though. Whatever has caused those hikers to go missing, they'd like it brought back in for study. I'm going to text you the number of one Rebecca Thornhill. She's from the program's Office of Research and attached to March Technologies. As soon as you can make a determination as to what's causing the murders, call her. And boys, you're going to be isolated, so watch your asses.
Are we going to get a more robust mission package once we get there, including some arms and munitions and other things capable of capturing and holding something that doesn't want to be captured or held?
As you had to have happened before in the past, your weapons are going to be Alpha Protocol. You're going to have to procure them on site. I've been able to get you on a flight that'll get you there with minimal red tape, but I'm not going to be able to get you there with any weapons at all. As far as any type of way of capturing what's going on out there, once you make the determination, you're going to want to put a call into Thornhill and apprise her of the situation. From my understanding, I guess she has a team on standby.
This is the lady we've met with before, I believe. Isn't that right, Odessa?
I think it is.
The Ice Queen, the one who still owes me a coffee, if I recall.
That is correct.
The one who did a great cleanup job back in the day with the Camaro.
I'm sorry,
Or
boys.
was it a Firebird?
That one was specifically not victim of the art, but
It was victim of the art.
it was
This
victim
is
of the
all in
art.
character,
It was
right?
victim of the art. Okay, yeah, victim of the art. Yes, yeah, because the next one that was picture present perfect. Yeah, so it was victim of the art. Yes,
Look,
I remember.
I don't understand. How do you know this Thornhill? You know her?
We met her.
Yes.
We met her in one of our previous missions. Seems
I believe you were told about this too, sir.
I had sent you out there I was unaware of anything other than what our friendly from the FBI, I forgot what his name is because I don't have it written down on my notes in front of me.
Heisenberg drinks
a lot.
Yes, we met with her. She asked us to check out this situation there. We assumed that she was working with you. Apparently, that's not how it ended. So we made haste and left.
That would be a negative. And the fact that you were still able to operate under my umbrella at the time just leads you to believe that she was not working cohesively with me because I was out of the loop on that.
Yet now we're meeting with her.
No, I said to text her and apprise her of the situation.
Yes, sir. That's what I meant.
Yes.
You remember that Rebecca Thornhill, Dr. Thornhill, as we were introduced to her, was with the Department of Research. She had her own named team. Our friendly was Dengler, Agent Dengler.
That's incorrect.
Wasn't Dengler?
Dengler was the police name.
I think it was Dirk Dangler.
He made those movies. Guy was a pioneer. Really paved the way for, the bald Latino.
It doesn't matter. No. So if there are no further questions, your ticket will be waiting for you at the gate at the Alamogordo Airport.
Heisenberg, can we trust Dr. Thornhill? The last time we ran into her, it led us to believe that there was something going on within Delta Green that may indicate that we're all not one big happy family, that there are competing interests.
Well, there is an outlaw faction to the agency that they're operating not just outside of the law, but they operate outside of the agency altogether. They still manage to get things done. Technically, I would almost say that you boys are now part of that because you're no longer under my umbrella of care. But I've been assured under no uncertain circumstances that if we complete this, we'll get you back in the fold. We'll get you back on the reservation again.
Can you get word to our families?
I already have word out to them. In a roundabout way, trying to send them mail with a non-return address. Basically making it seem as though they came from you. Trying to give them a little spark of hope. So,
that is appreciated.
Yes, Paulie, I just want to tell you that Santa, she hasn't moved on yet. And it's not from other men not trying, but I've got a couple boys in the field that manage to run interference on anybody that tries to do stuff like that. I'm sure at some point she's wondering why every one of her quarters wind up with a broken hip. They're starting.
Are they older?
Administered from the behind,
Their chili ring is dust. So if there are no further questions, why don't you guys head on over to the airport at Alamogordo and pick up your tickets. They'll be under your names. Go to the Delta terminal. Give the code word Heisenberg.
Will do.
Oh, and when you do touch down, give me a call.
Will do.
So at both of your perspective ends, Ramirez, Each and Adesso, you guys are on your way to your designated airports, and your flights take you to the Provo Airport in Utah. It's about a 2-hour flight from both of your ends. When you guys touch down, it's 4 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Odessa, as you and Ichimaru disembark the plane at Terminal 1, the flip phone in your pocket begins to vibrate.
Odessa.
Agent Odessa, I need for the both of you to get over to Terminal 3 and wait for the plane that just landed to disembark. You'll be picking up another agent I've sent to assist with the op. He should be dressed a little different than the other passengers.
Is he wearing a suit or something?
Most likely not.
Can you describe him to me?
Crazy. Ow. Phone goes
narrows
dead.
it down a little bit, but perhaps a little more specific.
Okay, Heisenberg. Yeah, I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Look for the nut job. Good job.
So as you guys make your way over to Terminal 3, you're watching the passengers begin to disembark. You see all kinds of people coming off, wearing cold weather gear, families, earmuffs, and everything else. And you're wondering who you're supposed to see. Ramirez, why don't you tell me what they see as they come off this plane? Now, you don't know that you're supposed to meet anybody.
Yeah. So I think you see, the normal mom and dad coming off, like talking to them, like, that was a good flight, honey. You were very quiet. We'll let you watch more TV. That's great. And behind them, you see this figure, and he's kind of, you see like the puffs of hair coming out from underneath. He's got like a ski cap on, one of those big with like the ears that come down. It's got UCLA across the top. And then he's got earphones just jamming on with that too. And he's got a full beard, glasses. He's wearing a big like 1980s members only jacket again that says UCLA on it. And he's just moving to the sound of his own drum. And he kind of moves around this family people, making a beeline towards the snack bar.
Something tells me this is our guy.
You think he looks crazy?
Half the clothing he's wearing went out of style in the 80s, and he's certainly not settled.
Well,
I'm gonna
style
go with yes.
never goes out of style, my friend. But yeah, I'd have to think that this looks like our man. How do you want to approach? Do you want me to go up and talk to him congenially, and then you can ask him to see his supervisor, or? So
I think maybe we just walk up to him and say his name.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll try a little bit gentler approach. How about I lead?
Very well.
So Ichi will walk up to clearly not crazy 80s stylish man. And
he's standing there looking at the snack bar, trying to decide what kind of pizza he wants. He's got the music still going.
He'll tap this man on the shoulder and say something without actually using any words, just to kind of force this man to hopefully take out his earphones.
All right. So at first he doesn't notice for a second, and then when he does turn, he like takes off the big, oversized Beats, and it's just like the mamas and papas going, and hello, and he takes the earphones off. Hey, how's it going?
Sir, do you have a minute to talk to me and my associate right over there? Do you want to get your pizza first?
Talk about what? What are you handing out flowers? What is this? The religious thing? I'm good. I'm all crazied up.
Well, I'd rather talk about it just out of this group of people here. They don't necessarily need to hear what we're talking about, but one of our friends told us that you would be flying in. I think you know his name. It's been a while since I heard from him, so I can assume maybe it's been a while for you, but get your pizza and then meet my friend and I right over here. We're right over here by the hot dog on a stick.
Then he kind of like clocks Adesso over as he's pointing at him. Okay, I'll see you in a second. Okay. And he goes through the line, gets his thing, comes over, and he's got like a soda for each one of you. And he's like, hope you like orange. You good? All right.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Ichi sets it down on the table. This
work.
is my friend Paulie. This is, and I leave the question open to you.
And he says, you could call me Romeo Ramirez. You may have seen some of my writing. Do you like any names off a few scientific, freak show journals that he writes for?
That's rad.
What are the chances of any of us have actually heard about it, though? Can we roll for it?
Yeah.
What would we need in order to actually have heard some of this? Because,
R20.
all the agents probably share the same
For real?
eclectic sense of humor and grim cynicalness.
If you like the National Enquirer, I mean, Bat Boy found in attic.
You mean the hot sheets?
Yeah, there you go.
Best sort of investigative journalism?
Why don't
Go
you make
down.
an intelligence check?
Okay.
I like this.
And that would be under the number that's next to our actual intelligence?
It'll be your intelligence times 5. That
Yeah.
Mongo number, you're going to roll
Yeah.
underneath it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
No.
I got a 39, and my intelligence check is a 90.
Damn.
Romeo
He's got an
Ramirez, I
18.
believe you're an actor in adult films, it sounds like. I missed
He's
my
like,
role.
oh, you've seen my early work, is it?
My B-roll.
I did a few things with Dirk Diggler, you know.
Paulie, you, on the other hand, are familiar with some of his stuff. I mean, being part of the military intelligence, it's possible some of the stuff might have come through as possible right-wing propaganda,
Right.
maybe even borderlining on communist propaganda.
You know, I have heard of you. You're that Romeo Ramirez. You wrote an article on crop circles, didn't you?
Yeah,
It was some kind of connection
3
on
years
that
ago.
with respect to underwater aliens or something of the nature.
The
I can't remember the
Oklahoma,
exact thing.
Texas thing. Yeah, you read that, huh?
Ramirez,
I
tell me
did.
about this book.
Oh, the
Tell-
crop circles in Texas. So it was, and it also had to do with a heroin smuggling ring, and they had an occult thing. Nobody would have believed this unless I had written it. One of
how
his
did it-
first, yeah. But the church was using the heroin in TikTok on Facebook to spread the word of this false prophet. And to do that, they had to start these crop circles, and they would show that, like from above, like from a drone, would go up and show these things they would make overnight. And evidently, it got enough power where it actually attracted like a minor something arcane, and they had to send in a whole fire squad and take these guys out.
That's quite a book. In fact, that's such a great description. You get the first gold doubloon of this episode.
Paulie
He's
says
got
it
so
did
excited he
have some of the
froze up.
hallmarks of it. It did have some of the hallmarks of our agency on it. Not so much for the crop circles, but apparently what the rituals that the cult was performing was starting to bring some unwanted attention from the other side.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing, you know. They see these crazy things out there, and they'll send me in, and I just see what's going on. I get as much information as I can, and then I try to spit it back, because you know how this stuff is. It just infiltrates, and it seeps through every corner and crack. And I see that I'm there just to put a little bit of misinformation on it, try to protect and spin. What about you guys? What do you do for our friend?
Little this,
a little bit of
little
this,
that.
a little bit of that.
He's like, don't we all? As he's just chugging down his orange soda.
It's been a while for us, so
Okay.
and I
was
believe
writing.
now that we've met with our friend, we have a call to make.
Let's find a little more isolated area, and we'll make the phone call, put it on speaker so he can know that we're all together now.
Ramirez, I'm Ichi. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
Hopefully you are the correct person that our friend wished us to find. Otherwise, we will be having some different talks after the phone call.
We may have to clean
Polly,
him.
don't laugh. It doesn't help.
Yeah, Ramirez just gets a little bit weirded out at that, because he's like, oh shit, maybe I'm screwed. Maybe I've kind of, punched my last ticket. So yeah, he's really interested in to see how this phone call goes.
I'm sure everything's fine. Polly, you want to make the call?
Dials the phone.
It rings once, and it immediately picks up on the other end. Odesso,
We have all the band together.
good. You did confirm who you picked up, right?
Correct.
All right.
Why
Your
we're
rental
calling
car
you.
has already been paid and procured. It's sitting in the white zone with the motor running. Your destination has already been programmed into the GPS. Call me again once you're on the road to the circled destination.
Will do. Hangs up the phone. All right. This gets a little more funky. The white zone has a car running in it. So we just need to go and climb in.
Before we go any further, this is me, but can I get a physical description for you guys' characters?
Yeah. Sam, why don't you go first?
Ichimaru is 5'8", 5'9", a little bit taller, due to his Caucasian heritage. He looks Japanese, but clearly looks mixed race. Dresses very neat, not fancy, but not shabby. So, you know, nice. You know, his jeans, or at least they were new. His shoes were worn in, but not shabby. Long sleeve shirt, a little bit of a button up, that kind of thing. But everything looks very functional without the flash of anything too fancy.
Paulie's about 5'8", 160 pounds, quite nondescript, brown hair, brown eyes. And you could tell he was military, or is military, being since he's still got the bad haircut that's starting to grow out, but he keeps his facial hair trimmed off completely. His clothes are basic utilitarian jeans, comfortable shoes, t-shirt, and since it's cold, he's got thick sweatshirt, and he's carrying a bag with another thick jacket. He's ready for the cold.
I think mentioning the jacket too, and Ramirez, as we were heading out, he's like shrugging into an overcoat too, feeling that Utah, chill and wind coming out of, when the doors open and it's just from outside. Who wants to drive?
I'll
That
drive.
would be Paulie.
Yeah, you find your way out to the white zone, and you see that there's a Lincoln Town Car,
Oh, right on. We're going in
Is it
style.
maroon, I hope?
burgundy,
Is it red?
Yeah,
Of Ramirez.
with a cracked dash.
Still a little bit paranoid. He says to Ichi, he's like, "You cool if I'm in the back? The legs, Ramirez is like
Absolutely. I'll
6'3".
sit back
You
there
good
with
with
you.
Now we're
I'm
talking.
just joking around now. I pat him on the back. You are in the clear now. So yeah, I'll sit up in front. But just remember, take the gun, or take the cannolis, leave the gun. That's the words of wisdom.
Yes, Puzzo, I love it.
Before we get in the car, I want to check the trunk, see if there's anything in there.
Okay. You pop the trunk. You see that there's a tire iron, a jack, and a spare tire.
Yeah, we steal all that shit.
Nothing else in
are-
there. Huh?
I will actually take the tire iron and just keep it in the car with us, just in case.
And 3 road flares.
Might as well.
Those became in handy on one of our missions.
Mhm.
We'll definitely take those ones too. All right,
true.
so
Explosive
Close the trunk.
sausages.
anything else in the car interior? It's just or nothing.
No, nothing at all. Looks like it's just been recently vacuumed.
Oh.
The seats recently wiped down. It's a pretty clean rental.
Well, we get in, boots up the GPS, and make sure
It's already
everybody's
booted up. You see that it says Forest Ranger Station, District 3, Wasatch Mountains, Utah. Approximate time to destination, 53 minutes. And then it says in bold red letters, there is a severe weather warning.
Would I be able to search? I got my notebook computer. Would I be able to link up and just get general information? Anything general that could help us about where we're heading?
Do you have some kind of a, like a hot
or
spot?
something.
Yeah,
Hot
some kind of a
spot.
hot spot.
I could roll for it, maybe.
Yeah, roll a luck. Hey, you know what? Roll that D20.
D20,
11
okay.
11 to 20 is yes.
Oh, 17. Winger.
Yeah, there
Hell
you go.
yeah.
Got to get that D20 in this episode.
Yeah, I
So
think
you
it'd
do
be-
have a hot spot.
Okay.
Tell me what you want to search for and what you want to know.
So I know we're going to the Wasatch Mountains. Maybe just any recent news, get an idea of anything that's going, and maybe he even kind of gives this idea to the other guys if they want to brainstorm a little bit. Hey guys, I'm trying. We got 53 minutes here. You guys got any ideas here?
Yeah, we should share what we know. We were told, excuse me. Yes, it'd be nice to know whatever you know. We know that we are sent by our handler to look for 2 missing hikers. 3.
3
2 to
missing
3.
hikers.
We were told by our handler that we were searching for missing hikers. Was there anything different that you were told that may help us out on our little quest here?
Not to sound callous, but he didn't tell me dick.
No.
Well, we're going to need some equipment because we're heading out to a ranger station. I have a feeling we're not going to have any food, equipment, supplies, or anything. So we should at least get some snow chains for this thing, get some food, get some other type of supplies just in case we're stranded out there. We don't want to be
Yeah, maybe we stop
completely
by
isolated.
like a general store or something like that.
I don't know. Do we have any funds, Mr. Handler?
Why don't you go ahead and make that luck roll for me again? All three of you.
Luck roll.
That on a D20 or are we doing percentage?
We're doing it on a D20.
Okay.
All right.
That's 11 above DM? Or
Yeah,
DM?
I got a
Handler?
14.
11.
I got 11 as well.
Roll your D100s.
Ramirez had a hot hand at the crap tables last night, son.
98.
14.
$14. And what'd you get, Ramirez?
57.
$57.
You would think that operatives that would go off on this stuff would like keep a little side cash, you know?
Well, it makes sense though because Ichi
We've been
and
in hiding.
Polly have been in hiding. I mean, they've got to basically commit some types of credit card fraud just to get funds at times. You know, whatever it took to try to sustain themselves because there was no revenue coming in. There was no support.
go rob drug dealers.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
we're driving
Ramirez, your book sucks. I'm sorry, but it hasn't finished yet.
Good Lord. I mean, he
We're
knows
trying-
it, but like to hear it, it really hurts.
Well,
It's a niche, you know what I'm saying? It's
you
never
know,
going to be a bestseller.
Slowly, as your royalties come in, it seems like you're almost spending them now just on creature comforts to suppress all the shit that you've seen, the stuff at the Alaskan Sea, aboard the the freighter, the stuff that's gone on in New Orleans.
Found the ship. That was cool.
all that shit is just like
Crop circles.
it's eating at you, and you haven't heard from Caldwell in who knows how long. I mean, that guy
Yeah, man, he's
basically
still-
fell off the fucking planet.
Bro, that owes me $8.
I agree.
All right, so I got $14. You got 57. We basically got nothing. We're not.
I
gonna
got
get
98.
a lot. You have 98.
Yeah, I rolled a 98, so I'm going to be buying this Lincoln some chains, some gold chains, my friend. And maybe
We'll find the nearest Walmart
gold-plated.
or Costco, and we'll probably be able to get a whole bunch of good stuff. Do we happen to have some of those stolen credit cards, or maybe some passable credit cards that we could use and charge some things to?
Roll your luck again.
Okay, and that's on a D20.
Yeah,
All right. Do
Sure,
I want
people are
high
good.
or low?
always want high
Always want high.
because you want that hard 20.
14 again.
Okay, so you do have one.
Oh, good. And how reliable is it? Is it we could put a couple $100 on
It's
it,
got
or is this more like a-
$210
Okay.
sitting on it.
Got it. I tell the rest of the group. Well, each probably knows, but I'll tell Romeo Ramirez. Yeah, I got this credit card. It's got $200 on it. Round numbers. We can get over to a Costco and get ourselves some supplies.
Some hot dogs, but they don't
Yeah,
take
that
credit
too.
cards. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
unless it's a
American
Visa,
Express.
Costco, Citibank. Yeah, and I think that maybe we shouldn't be putting anything on the card that we don't need, just in case
Well, we
it
should
attracts someone here.
Right. Well, we're definitely going to need some snow chains. If there's a weather warning, we don't want to be caught doing nothing, and we're definitely going to need some food supplies.
A
We're
ranger
obviously not gonna
station
be able to
would.
buy. Say again.
I said a ranger station would probably have food there, if
Maybe.
we need to, or we could pick up a box of Slim Jims at the store with the tires. If it's Walmart, we can buy some cheap food and
Right.
get some
Campbell's
Spicy
instant
sunflower
noodles.
seeds,
Yeah,
Gatorade.
instant noodles. All we need is hot water or cold water, depending on how hard up we are. But yes, I say we get moving though.
Well, as people on the run, I'm sure that you've done more than your fair share of midnight auto,
Mhm.
and there's
I don't know what that means.
plenty of cars on the road.
I think on the computer readout, he's getting things saying like severe weather, and it's got that thing. And then he
Yeah,
wants
as you begin to type away, one of the things you're able to pull up is confirming what each had said about those missing hikers.
Interesting. I wonder what took it. Does it give any? So they're just straight up missing. No body parts, no nothing, just gone.
The headline basically reads, and it's ironically it's from a low end, highly dubious source called Phenomenex, basically saying that several hikers went missing inside the Wasatch Mountains. Severe weather, a possible cause, but we think it may be aliens or it might be some kind of a monster. There's been times that several people have gone missing through the last 30 some odd years in the Wasatch Mountains. And it starts listing all kinds of shit, like far-fetched stuff that completely defies logic. Like, it says that strange lights have appeared in the sky, and it gives a quote from somebody who's been dead for like the last 15 years. And they're using that as evidence that somebody saw something. And they're like, oh, this reminds us, this harkens back to the time in 1984 when 2 hikers went missing and their bodies were found completely unrecognizable. Their skin pigmentation had been removed. It just all kinds of gibberish. And to know Phenomenon X, that it's like the Inquirer magazine. So.
Yeah, so he's like, this hack doesn't know anything. And he's actually going to put a comment in there. This is just self-promotion. He's like, I'm on my way. Get ready for the real story, people.
Yeah, but that just gave away our position. And anybody who's looking for us...
Might as well throw a torch in the room, Ramirez.
Yeah,
goddamn. Wild card, bitches.
As you're researching the weather, and you can see that it's going to start getting worse. They don't know you're with me. But you can see, like on your laptop, things are going to get worse. That you're in for one hell of a weekend as far as this
case of beer,
weather's concerned. But
poker. One
of the things that is a bright point to the whole weekend is it says that you're going to have the illumination of the moon when it's going to feel like it's at its closest, and it will be a full moon, throughout this whole weekend. And as you start looking at it and whatnot, you see a reply to the message that you just sent.
Oh, shit.
We'll see you soon. Next session.
Fucking Ramirez.
There we go.
A torch in the room, you son of a
good.
bitch.
Thank you for joining us once again on Roll the Hard 20 podcast. Remember, you can find us and subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Podcasts, and Audible. And if you like what you're listening to, leave us that 5-star rating and review. We also have a YouTube channel at Roll the Hard 20, so if you're into watching, head on over and hit that subscribe bell. We can also be found in the wild on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, so don't forget to look for us there and check us out. You can also contact the show directly at rollthehard20podcast@gmail.com or head on over to the website at rollthehard20podcast.com, where you can download the current show directly, pick and choose past shows from our archives, or view our galleries. We've got a lot of stuff posted there, so check us out. And finally, join us on our Patreon page at patreon.com/rollthehard20podcast, where you can become a hard slinger and pick up swag. So until next session, keep your dice warm and your glass topped off as you roll those hard 20s.